Yeah, so it was just tough, but for sure I need to work on my, I don't know, kind of mindset and fight a little bit more as I did last season.
Iga Swiatek, the WTA's #1 ranked star, believed that she can still improve. After all, she's only 21. We'll recap on that and examine a list of the best young tennis talent on tour.
I just had, tough situations on court when I had to come back from losing first set, and that cost me a lot of emotions.
Starting with how Swiatek has more to offer. It is pretty absurd how people tend to write off some of the modern stars just because they had a tough year or something. Look at what's happening with Emma Raducanu. How is that fair? Iga, though, is on the exact other end of the spectrum. She's already achieved more than what others can only dream of, and she's only 21. Most people would believe that this is her prime, but that's not true at all. The Polish sensation believes that she can actually improve many things, and that's quite scary to even imagine after her dominant 2022. The only thing more promising than a special young talent is a talent that also wants to improve and doesn't stagnate, no matter what they've achieved. It seems that Swiatek is cut from that cloth because she spent some time learning volleys from double specialist Rohan Bopanna. She was quick to blame the Indian for the one volley that she did miss on game point, but that's just fantastic Polish humor and nothing else. The only takeaway from all this is Swiatek's been working hard in the off-season, and we'll probably end up seeing a much more improved version of her. That's all on Iga. What about some of the other younger sensations making waves in the sport?
For sure, I know him very well. We are good friends. We obviously practice a lot together, so I wish him all the best. I know he was out for quite a while.
Starting with Holger Rune. The 19-year-old sensation was only in the top 100 when the 2022 season began, and ended with a top 10 finish. His rise would have been considered truly meteoric, if not for Carlos Alcaraz becoming the world #1. Rune had some ugly moments in 2022, too, but he really got it all together by the end, and the icing on the cake was that win against Djokovic in Paris. It really characterized Rune's playing style, built on big hitting, tactical astuteness, and relentless running. I'm very excited to see what 2023 brings for the Dane. The potential is clearly there, and the thirst to prove it too. Will he add to his career titles? Will he finish the season with another year-end top 10 ranking? Only one way to find out, but for now, we look at the next entry, Coco Gauff. Yeah, I know she's been around for so long now that most people don't realize she's still only 18. Well, what are you going to do about such a talent? After all, Coco defeated Venus Williams at Wimbledon back in 2019 when she was only 15. And it's good to see her continuing the steady progress. Top 10s for both singles and doubles is seriously impressive, not to mention her first majors finals appearance. A strong serve, mental grit, and very good reactions make Gauff a tough cookie. As soon as she builds up her consistency, she's going to be unstoppable. But the good thing about all this, she's got a lot of time to work on it because Coco's going to be a teenager until March of 2024.
Myself at 4-2 down in that second set.
I just said the pressure was on her. I won the first set.
Talking about young adults, we've got Jannik Sinner. Another 21-year-old who's been around the professional tour since 2018 now is Jannik Sinner. It's like tennis has become the young person's game, if not for those two oldies dominating the tour in their late 30s. Sinner is one of the most exceptional talents on the ATP tour, and if not for injuries, he'd be ranked much higher too. He's one of those players who have it all, tipped by analysts and legends of the game for greatness. Sinner's one of those players who should definitely explode this season. 6 career titles at 21 isn't a joke, not to mention he's already been to the quarterfinals of all 4 majors. What's next? We'll find out in due time. But let's shift our focus to Linda Fruhvirtova. At only 17, Linda Fruhvirtova won her first WTA title in 2022. What were you doing at 17? The legendary Patrick Mouratoglou described her as an incredible fighter and believes that she has the full package. Well, she is the youngest player in the top 100, and it wouldn't surprise us if she finished the season in the top 20, at least. Most importantly, she already secured a place in the Australian Open main draw and comfortably cruised through the first round, bageling her opponent in the process. They say sky is the limit, but honestly speaking, even that might be downplaying it for this Czech sensation. Linda comes from a family of tennis stars stars, as the next entry on our list is Brenda Fruhvirtova. Yeah, Brenda is Linda's younger sister, and at 15, she's also another talent to keep an eye out for. Don't believe us? Well, take a quick look at what she's up to in the qualifiers of the Australian Open, because if I remember correctly, she's reached the main draw. That is an insane achievement, and she too has a habit of bageling her opponents, dropping one in the first round of the qualifiers. Brenda is the youngest player in the top 250, and she's coming off a 27-match winning streak at the ITF level, which saw her win 8 singles titles. It looks like we got our Czech version of the Williams sisters. Jack Draper. Another player predicted to do well in 2023 is young Brit Jack Draper, who recently turned 21. Draper's already built a bit of a reputation on the ATP Tour since arriving with a bang in 2021. He defeated Jannik Sinner after a wild card entry in the Queen's Club Championships and has taken sets off of Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal in majors. How many people can say that? Draper also progressed to the semifinals in Montreal in 2022 after defeating Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets and landing a big win at the US Open over Felix Auger-Aliassime. 2023 will definitely be a big year for young Jack, but as someone who's already had a big 2022, here's Qinwen Zhang. Named the WTA Newcomer of the Year, Qinwen Zhang rose more than 100 places in 2022 to finish the season in the top 25. At only 20 years of age, the Chinese star looks set to challenge the top guns of the WTA, and she has a lot of confidence in her abilities. That's always great to see. Zhang's already defeated 5 players ranked in the top 20 in her last 6 attempts, and even got a set off of Iga Swiatek in the French Open. Yeah, that last achievement is as good as a career title considering how good Iga is on clay. While we're on the topic of good clay quarters, here's Lorenzo Musetti. With 2 career titles to his name already, Musetti is a respectful name on the ATP Tour. In fact, he recently broke into the top 20 of the ATP and has been one of the most impressive youngsters on tour in recent years. He came to within a whisker of defeating Djokovic at the 2021 Roland Garros after a 2-0 lead in the 4th round, but had to retire in the 5th due to an injury. Ah, what a shame. If only luck had gone his way. But he made big waves in 2022, winning 2 career titles, and will be hoping that he kicks on and takes the next leap in 2023. The Italian tennis scene is very secure. Even Matteo Berrettini, the former Wimbledon finalist, is just the 3rd-ranked Italian on tour, behind Sinner and Musetti. Imagine that. I can't wait for Iga to take the next step in her career and see how all these youngsters end up doing in 2023. See you in the next video.